G'day, my name is Superintendent Greg Wild, New South Wales Fire Brigades. I manage our Community Engagement and Development Unit. Today we're going to talk about fire safety measures that you can take in a caravan. The Fire Brigade's policy is to install a photoelectric alarm, just like this one. A couple of other easy ways to ensure your safety in caravans is to have a fire blanket and a fire extinguisher. The Fire Brigade recommends the use of dry chemical powder extinguishers for caravans. One of the other areas you need to consider when considering safety around the caravan is your LPG cylinder. When you've finished using it at night, always turn it off at the main stop valve and face the valve assembly away from the caravan. Another key thing is to ensure that the hose is in good condition and hasn't been damaged by the sun.
Our old clunker was towed to the Test Safe facility in Sydney's West and prepared for its last supper. We did have some restrictions. We had to remove the gas bottle before the fire, understandably because they do go boom. But the van carried the usual complement of bits and pieces: fridge, cooktop, TV, etc. Plus we added a few props, such as clothing and fabric items, some toys and even a Teletubby. Sadly, the yellow Teletubby perished in the blaze. We recorded the fire in a number of ways. We used 5 external video cameras to record varying angles of the fire, plus a still camera. Inside, the New South Wales Fire Brigade fitted a number of thermocouples at varying heights up the walls to record temperature shifts. We also fitted 2 remote lipstick cameras inside the van. These were located at each end, one above the dinette and the other above the double bed at the end, just above the mattress. We also fitted a remote microphone at floor level under the bed to record the sounds of the fire. Prior to the full burn, we recorded a couple of fire exercises. The object of these was to put out a typical cooktop fire set in a fry pan containing oil, firstly with a fire blanket and secondly a fire extinguisher. Guess who the bunny was to play fireman? The smoke alarm was the trigger for the action, and we found that both were effective, though with the blanket I had to hold it down firmly to ensure the fire was out. With the extinguisher I had to direct the spray offset from the flames a bit, otherwise the force of the spray splashed the burning oil out of the pan. But the main burn was the real eye-opener. The fireys ignited the fire with a bit of diesel on a cushion just inside the door, then shut the door. We had some louver windows open initially for a bit of air, but we wanted to see what happened with the fire and smoke on the inside first, before the internal cameras cooked. Within 30 seconds, smoke and temperature reached critical levels, and within 60 seconds both internal cameras failed. Not initially from flames, but from dense smoke. The inside of the van filled with smoke rapidly, and at the same time the inside temperature rolled up through 600 degrees C. And therein lies the lesson, folks. If your smoke alarm goes off in the middle of the night, don't ignore it, get out straight away. The amount of smoke generated inside the van was amazing. Thick, dense and very hot. It would kill in less than a minute. Remember, you don't need flame to die in a fire. While columns of dense smoke made pretty patterns against the sky, we needed to get some flame happening. So a fiery-wearing breathing apparatus smashed windows at either end to let some air in. And that, folks, was the end of that. With a bit of air, all that superheated fuel in there went up quickly. The microphone recorded the sounds as the van was destroyed. Tyres exploding, the TV went pop and the whole van just collapsed in on itself, leaving a pile of twisted metals, aluminium, steel chassis and the bed springs, the fridge frame and the wheel rims. And we couldn't find the Teletubby. And here are some lessons learned. There are 2 basic types of smoke alarms, photoelectric and ionisation. Photoelectric alarms appear to provide a faster warning than ionisation alarms in most circumstances, and there is little appreciable difference in performance during flaming fires. The photoelectric alarm is the type that goes off when you burn the toast, and some folks have a tendency to remove the battery to keep them quiet. Just think about this. At night, in the dark, smoke from a starting fire sets off a smoke alarm. You have about 30 seconds to stumble out of bed and out of the van. Or put it this way, you have about 30 seconds to live. Still want to turn off that pernickety alarm? As we mentioned, most fires start in the kitchen with the exit and the bed at either end. Kick-out windows in the bedroom of vans would be a very smart move that could quite possibly save a life. Caravan manufacturers, please note. Incidentally, some old narcs and know-alls might say that our test was invalid because old vans are much more fire-prone than modern rigs, with fire-retardant upholstery and such. That's probably true, but they'll still burn. And incidentally, this van fire got so hot the aluminium was melting and burning. However, if those same old narcs and whingers would care to supply us with their new modern flash caravans, I'll happily burn it for them.